it's Sophia with Sophia Brings Light. I am doing a wrap up of the year and talking about my plans for 2025. And 2025, I may start a new channel, which has nothing to do with witchy or anything. It's going to be talking about my retired life. If somebody wants to hear that or wants to know more about that, because this is a new adventure for me, and so I'll be talking a little bit more about that. But some of the plans that I personally have for the new year. Last year I read quite a few books. I think I read about 50 books. I really didn't count them, but I kind of briefly went over some, and it looked like I had read about 50 books or so. So I'll continue reading. 50 was pretty much a comfortable number for me. It takes me a while to read because a lot of the times I'm reading 2 or 3 books at a time, which I wouldn't recommend for people because it kind of takes you longer to get through the books because you are. But I get bored and I like going back and forth through the books. Some of the books that I really have loved this year was Bohemian Magic. I really enjoyed that book. Rest is Resistance. I read, those are the two that are top of my head. Oh, and Circe. I really enjoyed Circe, and I read that again. And there are other magical books. What I would say about the magical books that I've read this year is that a lot of them have been pretty much the same, going more for the beginner. I've enjoyed a lot of the magical books that I've read, but I kind of feel like it was like repeat and rinse. So I'm not really recommending any per se right now. I might do that at a later date with it being a little bit more specific with that. But what I am going to go through, I'm reviewing, I use a commonplace notebook to kind of write my thoughts in about a book or the quotes that I liked about a book or those kind of things. And I did that. I've actually done that for the last 2 years. Well, I have enjoyed doing that. But one of the things that I started doing, this is sort of like my book of shadows. And I do my book of shadows like in a bullet point type of way. So it would have for the day whatever cards I pulled, any thoughts I had. If I got a download, that would be in there. Also, if I dream something that I remember, because sometimes I don't remember my dreams, that is in there also. But near the end, I started putting in some thoughts about whatever I was reading at that time. And was there a quote that came out to me? Was there just a thought about the book that I'm reading at that time? If there was an exercise that I was doing in a book, I started putting it in, I wouldn't call this really, this is my book of shadows, whatever thoughts and feelings. I started putting in here in a bullet journal with bullet point kind of way. And I think I'm liking this a little bit better. I'm going to kind of research that more and continue my commonplace book because that kind of holds more. But this is a good place to start those thoughts. Also, I'm in a couple of book clubs. So it was kind of easy for me to go and think about my thoughts here. But it also was pretty nice for me to go to my commonplace book for any notes I had that I wanted to review with the book club. So that is a thought that as the year comes, I will change a little bit different. This is one of the planners that I have, and I just love this planner. And not that it's anything big or different. I kind of need my planners to be simple. I might put some stickers in here, some notes. But I really just, I need to have the overview of the month. As you can see, I've started. And then I just like my weekly and monthly. This one has reflections, which I do kind of like that. And it has some little sayings in here. I like that. Any upcoming events, you can put that there. It's really pretty simple. I kind of like the spread of how this is a day-to-day things. And as you can see, I've already started that. I just like the way this is for right now. And so this will kind of do for me. And I usually have at least 2 planners. It just helps me. This is another one. I don't have like fancy, name brands or anything. I just need it to be simple because it's so much. Sometimes I just need simplicity right now. Sometimes I want to do a lot with stickers, and I can because these are simple or things or thoughts or whatever I have. But mostly I just want it to be simple for me. Now, I am trying to, lose weight, drink more water, eat healthier, and all of that. This one does not have like the goals, but it does have the day-to-day, which I track that way. I kind of just like writing it out. How did I do? Did I drink so many, whatever I'm doing? It would be nice to have a tracker. I do like those, but this is fine for right now. And then, of course, excuse me as I go around here, I always get these Llewellyn's Witches Daybook. This is the 2025 edition. These are always just so helpful to me, and I get one every year. I like all the contributions that different authors and stuff add into the book. I usually go through it. It has a lot of good things in there. I like the calendar, the way the calendar goes. I'm trying to go to like a month in advance. It has recipes in here too. I saw this heartwarming white chicken chili that I think I'm going to try. So different authors contribute different things in here, and I find that very interesting and fascinating. It also has like the weekly things that you can put notes and stuff. But this is January month in advance, and that's how that is. It'll tell you when the new moons, that kind of thing. Like the full moon will be on January the 13th, and it'll name the moon. It's a cold moon. And then the new moon is on the 29th. So I like that about this. Then they have interesting little pictures and all of that kind of stuff in here. Sometimes if there's not a lot on the back, or at the end of the year, if it was certain pictures I like, I cut them out and paste them in whatever book that fits. It has some nice sigils in here. This is right here is a good health sigil, which that's what I'm working on. So I did kind of copy this sigil and put it on my altar. So it just has nice little things in here. And it kind of goes over some of the holidays and the full moons and that kind of thing. This is a good luck sigil that it has in there. It's just, I just love getting these books every year. And it has quite a few contributions in here from different writers and people that we may know. And I'm not going over that. It goes over the moon signs, the lunar phases, some magical influences on the certain days, which a lot of us color correspondence, different herbs. Those are kind of like in it every year, but it's just nice to have that right at your fingertips in your calendar. Of course, at the end, it'll have the full moons, any eclipses in 2025, and the planetary retrogrades. So that's all nice. And then it has notes in the back. So again, this is Llewellyn's Date Book 2025. And like I said, I usually get this every year and I find it helpful. And this is where a lot of times, whatever intentions or anything I wrote down or did for a full moon or new moon, I write those intentions in here so that I can kind of go back and see if I have coven meetings or we're doing or working on something. I usually write it in here. It just makes it easier and I can keep up with things that way. So as you can see, I usually have 2 or 3 planners or date books. That always works for me. And one is my personal business, whatever appointments, anything I have to do. And in the back in the notes, like if I had an appointment with a doctor or something on a certain day, or I may have to go back to work, but I'll only work as needed as a nurse. But the days that I may work, anything that actually happened or whatever, or anything that a discussion I had with someone that I would like to have that day, that goes in my personal planner. Usually the second planner that I use is just almost, I know this is redundant, but almost a repeat of some of my personal things. It may have some of my personal and some of the things that I do personally as a witch, because I am in a coven, but we're a coven that is online and we meet pretty frequently and do rituals and stuff that together. But I like to have my own personal planner book for my own personal, because I still feel quite like I'm a solitary practitioner. So any spells or the results of those or anything, I like to put that in my planner so I can go back and look. Or anything that I've done personally as a solitary, I like to have there. And then this is like kind of like my coven planner or whatever, and what we're going through and what we're doing. I have that in there. So, that's some of the things I'm planning for 2025 and the use of my planners and Book of Shadows. So that's it for me. What are you doing? What are some of the plans you have for 2025? For 2025, as my practice personal, for my own personal practice, I'm just really clarifying and simplifying my practice and doing what works best for me, as well as celebrating. This is a year of celebration of my heritage and making my heritage work within my practice. So those are some of the goals for me for 2025. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.